So I'm stressed. My mental health has been a little bit shaky the last probably week straight, I would say. And today I'm a little hungover. So I thought I need a break from work and things like that. And I also need to film a video. So I thought I would just combine it. We're gonna do a self-care day together. And I thought I would document the process of what my kind of self-care day looks like. There really isn't a right way to do a self-care day, but I thought I would tell you and show you what I think a self-care day looks like. I think one of the most important things on self-care days is to acknowledge and recognize all the little accomplishments that you achieve throughout the day. And they could be like very, very small little things, because today is not about prioritizing big tasks or work or anything that's like really daunting and like a project or anything like that. But it's also not about bare minimum. I think it's important to push yourself a little bit and recognize your feelings, analyze your feelings a little bit, kind of explore your brain and your mind and where you're at, and also get a little bit of exercise or some kind of sunshine in your life, because at the end of the day, you're gonna feel so much better about the little things that you've accomplished instead of just having like a nothing day where you don't do anything, which there is a time and a place to do a day like that. Anyway, nothing days can be considered self-care days as well. It just really depends on your needs. Some days we just cannot force ourselves or push ourselves to do the little things, little accomplishments throughout the day, and that's okay. We all need lazy days once in a while, but I do believe self-care should obviously go far beyond face masks, pedicures, bubble baths, things like that, which those can be great, but I like to push past the materialistic and the physical outside stuff and really get in deep in my brain. So with all of that being said, I would like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare, of course, is an online learning community of over 25,000 different classes in categories like creative writing, design, business, marketing, photography, anything you can really think of that would either be for your career, hobbies, your passions, anything like that. They have classes on it. I've been trying to focus on the creative writing classes because they do have a variety of different types of creative writing classes. I found this one on the Writer's Toolkit, 6 Steps to a Successful Writing Habit, which I think is very, very important and a good jumping off point if you are interested in creative writing or even journaling and things like that. They have stuff on there for that too. But I definitely need to get back into a creative writing habit because I need something creative in my life. So if you click the link in my description box, you will get 2 months of Skillshare for free, and then after that, an annual membership costs only around $10 a month. I apologize about my neighbors being loud again. Okay, morning time. We are in the morning time. It is 9:30 right now. I woke up very late because the grandma stayed up until after midnight, but I paid for it and not being able to wake up early, which is one of the goals I wanted to do today to start off my day properly, but that's okay. So far this morning, I woke up and I immediately turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and downtime. So I locked pretty much all of my bad apps, as I call them, all the addicting apps that I would just scroll endlessly. So I locked those up until 10. And then one of my favorite parts of my morning routine is to go sit outside with my coffee. I take my morning coffee and sit on our patio, which is kind of a mess right now, so just ignore the stuff around me. But we have this amazing lounger outside and I love sitting on it in the mornings. And then another thing I like to do out there while I'm out there is meditate. So I did a little meditation. So I did a couple like morning stretches, nothing too strenuous or anything, but just a little something to like wake my muscles up and my body up. So now what I think I'm gonna do, I'm not really hungry yet. I could eat. By the way, I got silicone straws finally. I have stainless steel ones and they're great, but I don't know what it is. When they're like cold, I don't like them and I'm scared to hit my teeth on them. So another thing I want to get done this morning is a little bit of journaling. It's been a while since I've journaled and I found some like prompts on Pinterest. What would make me happy right now? What's standing in the way of that happiness? What's draining my energy? Ooh, that's a good one. What do I need to give up, say no to, or let go of? How can I reprioritize my to-do list? What can I declutter physically or emotionally to find more ease and simplicity? That's a good one too. 3 things I am most grateful for right now. I think I'm gonna do a couple of these because some of these are really good. actually, I wrote down the other day, I think I was watching a Michelle B video, and she had talked about a reflection and action plan. So I think I'm gonna translate that to my journal page here and just kind of go over it a little bit more, basically reflecting on what it is you're feeling and why you're feeling it, and an action plan for how to assist in feeling better about whatever you're stressed about and things like that. So I did not describe that very well, but watch Michelle B's video. Finished journaling. I wrote about a page in my journal, so now it is time to eat a little breakfast. One thing that I do think is important also on self-care days is to eat what you want. You know, it's good to be a little healthy, so do think about what you're eating, because you do want to feel good that day. You don't want to feel super sluggish, but at the end of the day, just eat what you want. If it's going to stress you out to try to eat healthy and it's just too much effort for you, just eat whatever sounds good. So now that I've eaten, what I like to do now is take my supplements. So I take vitamin D, B complex, and a vegan DHA omega-3. These are the ones that I found. I think I found these on Lucky Vitamins, so I'll link them down below if you wanna get some of your omega-3s. And then B complex is really important if you're a vegan or vegetarian. So I take those 3, really helps with my energy and my mood. So what I'm gonna do. So I do like to do a little bit of cleaning on self-care days, just to add that to the little accomplishments that I do throughout the day. So we have some dishes here, so I'm gonna do the dishes and then scoop the cat box and stuff, you know, just normal things that you gotta do. Everything I got done in about 2 hours. Self-care day going strong. I have some things planned for like the afternoon and evening, but for right now, I'm gonna have some guilt-free TV time, because that is one of my favorite things to do, is watch TV. If you know me, you know that. So I'm gonna watch some old Big Brother. So Ryan actually started reading, and I thought, he's right there. So I have afternoon reading on my list of things to do for self-care today, so I thought if he's reading, I should read. Anyway, so I'm almost done with How Not to Die by Michael Grieger, and I've been taking notes in my old bullet journal, just like diet tips and health tips and things like that. So I think I'm gonna work on taking notes and going through the book. I'm almost done. I think I only have a couple more sections left, so I'm gonna do that for a little bit. I did watch TV for like 2 hours. It's now 1 p.m. So I've actually already started editing this video, which was not part of the plan for this afternoon, but it's kind of nice when you get that little boost of motivation. I find that when you do like a little task or a couple small tasks, especially early on in your day, you just automatically get a little bit more motivation to continue that throughout the day. So that's another thing why I think it's important to do a couple little things just to get you going, because those are usually the hardest things to start doing, are like just doing anything really. So right now what I think I'm gonna do is have a little brainstorming session, because in the action plan I created earlier today, one of my major stressors in my life is always videos and filming videos, making sure they're decent videos. And I find that I start each week being like, okay, which videos am I gonna film this week? And I'd rather get ahead of that and just know what I'm filming when and when things are going up, instead of being so last minute about it. So I'm gonna have a brainstorming sesh, and no, I'm not getting out of my pajamas at all today. Okay, so it is 6:22. I am gonna start dinner, and when I do like these kind of days, I make my favorite meals. So in case you don't watch my vlog channel, my favorite meal of all time pretty much that I make is spaghetti. Hold up, I want it to be in it. So I make spaghetti, and then my favorite vegetable is Brussels sprouts. These are on their last leg, so I really have to eat them today and probably cut off a bunch. And then I'll roast some carrots with those. My cats are very prevalent in this video, which is actually really accurate to my self-care days, because I do spend a lot of time talking to them, hanging out with them, cuddling with them. So they are like a huge part of my life. So it makes sense that they are so involved in this video. So it's about 9 p.m. and one of the productive things I wanted to do is my skincare routine. I normally just go to bed and don't really wash my face every day, probably every other day, which is pretty bad, especially because I have that medication I have to put on my nose for my rosacea 1 to 2 times daily, so I don't actually do it daily. But I feel like it is helping. I might have a flare up right now because I drank alcohol last night. So for the rosacea on my nose, I just use a triple combo gel that I got at a dermatologist. So I'm gonna apply that only to the tip of my nose. And then for a retinol, I do this about twice a week. This is the Cosmetics Serum 16 Rapid Renewal Serum. And then I bought this in my rosacea video, which I guess I'll link up here if you wanna know how I discovered I had rosacea and everything. This is the Burt's Bees Sensitive Night Cream that I got. I don't think I'm gonna repurchase this because it's not as heavy duty as I want it to be, but I've been using this every day, well not every day, every other day since I got it. It's all right. It's good for oily skin though. It's definitely not good for dry skin, and luckily it's been the summer, so like I don't need super hydration, but it's just really liquidy and watery, and I prefer like a thick cream to like this kind of runny consistency. So that's my entire skincare routine. I find simplicity is the best, so why I don't do this every day, it's not like there's a million steps to it, I don't know, but I did it today, so cross that off my list. So the last thing that I want to do to kind of round out my self-care day is to do one more session of reading. So I did the nonfiction earlier in the day, and I think I might try to make this a habit where I do nonfiction in the morning time and then another session of reading in the evenings where I read a fiction novel. I can't find the book I'm reading right now that's fiction. It's Roadwork by Stephen King. I don't know where it went. I went everywhere in my apartment and I can't find it. So tonight we're gonna read an oldie but a goodie. This is a classic that I've read a couple times already now. It's just like, you know how you have like those movies that you like to rewatch just because they're comfortable and you know them? That's how I feel about this book. So I'm gonna read Scream Queen by Ida von Belcom. Highly recommend if you haven't read it yet. It's pretty cheesy, but it's a horror book and it's good. Okay, so it's the next day, back to a regular old work day for me, but I thought I would finish out the video. I wanted to do final thoughts last night, but it was really dark and I just felt like I should just wait till today. So yeah, final thoughts on my self-care day. This is the first time I really did everything that I had set out to do in one day to be like productive, but more so prioritizing myself and my mental health. And I have to say it was one of the most satisfying days I've had in like this whole year, because when you get so much accomplished but it's not like too much, it just feels like the day is so long. And lately my days have been feeling like they're just flying by. Like, can anyone else believe it's September? I guess that would be like a reset routine too, because it just like restarted my motivation and inspiration for videos and things, and it's exactly what I needed. So it was really, really nice. And I learned that I can keep some of these things, like some of these habits, throughout every day, because they're so beneficial, like journaling and doing a bit of reading every day. There are so many days that go by that I don't do either of those. They make such a difference, but they're so simple and easy to do that why don't I do them every day? I have time for it. Sorry, the birds are very loud. My door's open. I thought we'd have like a nature moment. Anyway, final thoughts. It was amazing. It was a great day. I highly recommend you have self-care days in your life. Make time for them, because you need to prioritize yourself and your mental health, and you'll just feel so much better and ultimately just be that much more productive when you have days for rest, like true rest and reset and recuperation and relaxation. Anyway, please let me know your favorite self-care habits down below in the comments. Make sure you remember to check out Skillshare, link below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.